What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to work on getting the mirrors off of my 2020 here behind me. We're going to start the process of paint matching the truck. I'm going to go over everything about paint matching it at the end of the video, what my plans are for that. But for right now, we're just going to work on getting the tow mirrors off of the truck. Now, these are not like the older generation Duramaxes that when you open the door, you can just take this panel off, pull the mirror out, and it comes right out. On the 2020s, it's a little different because the mirror's actually in the door, which means we're gonna have to pull the door panels off. Now, I've been wanting to do this for a while because I do have a rattling in both my doors up front. I was gonna take it back to the dealer, but to be honest, I don't trust them with anything, so I'd rather do it myself. And since I'm pulling it off anyways, I'll probably find out why it's rattling. Something's probably not fully seated, one of the clips. But we'll go ahead and get that figured out too as we're pulling it apart. Maybe I'll see why it's rattling. But anyways, we're going to work on getting them off. It's nice when you have a pry tool set. I'm going to go over everything that I have to help get it off a little bit easier. And also, like I said, what my plans are for the mirrors. I think you guys are going to be really interested in seeing that. So be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video when I go over everything like that. So without further ado, let's dive into getting these tow mirrors taken off. Alright, so we're going to start working on getting this actual fake wood piece off the door here. There's some bolts behind there that probably are not showing right now that I assume have to come off. Like I said in a previous video, I picked this pry tool set off of Amazon. I think I paid like 30 or 40 bucks for it, but it really has every tool you ever need to pry anything off, which is nice. When you go ahead and do this door panel, make sure you have plenty of time. Like anything, you don't want to be rushing, because if you're rushing, obviously you're going to break clips. It's going to be a terrible time. You don't want to deal with that. And two, probably when I take the mirror off, depending on how heavy it is, I probably have to have somebody hold that as I unbolt it from the inside, just to make my life a little bit easier so I don't drop that on the floor. Definitely don't want to do that. But probably first thing I'm going to start doing here is prying off some of these little panels here, like behind the door handle. Look at this off. And there's a couple bolts I already see down here. There's one here, one here. I'm not sure what size they are yet. I'll let you know when I dive into it, but I'm sure there's definitely more than these couple bolts holding it on. So without further ado, let's start prying some of the stuff off and get the door panel off. So I'm going to start up here, working my way back to here. I think last time I did this, that it actually tucks into the door, because I did mess with this once originally. When I first got my truck, it was rattling and tried taking it off. But it has like a little tongue here that tucks in. But you want to be very careful with this when you're prying it back. You don't want to mess up any of the plastics. Like, don't be doing this with a screwdriver. Anything plastic, really, like a plastic's not going to mess up plastic. Just be careful when you're prying along here that you don't damage anything. My goal is to put it back on and make it like it was never touched before. I really want to do this once and be done with it. So let's go ahead here now and start prying this off. I basically got this pried all the way out. What I did was start at this end. As you can see, it's like a little tongue there that locks into there. But these metal pieces, I basically just got one off, and then I just pried each one back individually. Then it just kind of just popped out on its own, which is nice. Let's put that there. I'm going to label everything as well so I know where everything goes. I don't see any visible bolts here. There may be a couple somewhere in here that I don't see. But I'm going to work on getting this piece here behind the door handle out next. Okay, so with this, what I did was, as you can see on the driver's side, there is a little notch right here. I really had to play with it just because it's in a crappy location, because the notch is in this corner, and when you open this, it doesn't open all the way. And you can't get a good tool in there, so I had this little, like, square thing. I don't know. My brother uses this for tinting. I just put it in there. I just popped it out, worked it around. Just be careful, because the clip's set in like this, so the door has to pull out this way, just so you're aware. So we got that out. It looks like there is another bolt there. So basically now that I got all that stuff off, we're just going to work on getting the bolts out. I'm going to size it up right now and work on getting the rest of the panel off. Okay, so I just sized the bolts up and got my Milwaukee out. It looks like they're 7mm. It looks like I found 5 total so far. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I looked around the hole there. That's all I saw. So I'm going to take those 5 out. And then I'll work on starting to pry the panel back gently. My camera view is probably going to be total garbage because I have nowhere to set it up. But what I'm going to start doing is putting my hand in here, pulling it back. I'll try to keep you guys posted when I'm pulling it backwards. How many clips there are and what it looks like behind the door. So when I do this, and if I mess it up, you won't mess yours up. So let me start pulling this back here with my hands. Okay, so we finally got it out, and talk about a pain in the butt. As you can see, they have all these connectors on the back of this. There's like a million of them. What I did was I started in the bottom right hand corner here, and I just pulled it out. And when I'm telling you, you need a lot of force. You need a lot of force. I thought I was actually gonna break something. Good thing I didn't. So now what I'm gonna have to do is, like, some of these are supposed to stay in the door panel, but they ended up staying in the door. So I'm gonna have to pull those out, get them back on the door. This for the door handle release. This is just a clip. You squeeze that like that, that comes off. This connector here, it's this stupid, like these new grip things. So there's a little wedge in there you pull up on, and that just disconnects. And then the final thing was this for the power door lock that kind of just fell down on its own. So make sure not to bend that or anything. Now it looks like just a little plastic rubber trap door. Let me try getting that off, and that should expose to us, if I can get it out without breaking it, the mirror bolts. Oh boy, probably have to put the camera down because this is like fused in here. So let me work on getting that out, and then we'll see what's holding the mirror on the door. Looks like we got 4 bolts holding the mirror on the door and these 2 electrical connections. So I'll work on getting those 2 unplugged. Then we'll work on just pulling the mirror off. After I get these 2 connections off, the mirror should just come right on out. Got these unplugged. It's basically we just want to release the red tab if my camera focuses. What you want to do is pull this red tab here back, and that little black button right in there you want to push down, and it'll pull right out. They make these really crappy, it really hurts your hands, so just take your time. Fortunately, I did not break anything getting this door panel off, which I'm very fortunate about. Still got one more to do, but these look like they're 12 or 13 millimeters. I'll let you know in a second. I'll break those free, then we'll take the mirror off the truck. One thing too, what you want to do is, like, all these that got left in the door, I tried using my little plastic one, but it didn't work. So you want to take one of these carefully without hitting your door speaker or anything like that. Pry them out of here. Take your time that you don't break them. And then just like that. Then you want to take it, put it back in the door panel. Be careful, like say you pull it off here, just make sure that you know it came from here. You put it right back in the spot immediately, so you don't have like 6 in your hand, you're not sure where they go. They're probably all the same, but that's just what I like to do. So now let me break these free. Go grab someone to hold the mirror for me, we'll take it off the truck. Lined it up, it's a 13 millimeter. I'm gonna go ahead and bust those free. I'm gonna grab someone and we'll get the mirror pulled off the truck. Then we'll go over the logistics of the mirror. One thing too that I almost just did, be careful that you grab these bolts because you do not want them to fall into here. I don't even know where the heck that will go to, but I assume that you will never get that out of there, and your door will rattle forever if you have a metal bolt floating around there. So just be very careful when pulling these bolts off here that you do not drop them down in the hole there. Alright, so we got the mirror out, and what a pain in the butt it ended up turning out to be. I'll explain. We were pushing on it. It would not come out for the life of it. As you see, we had a million tools trying to get it out. Show you guys what we ended up doing. What you want to be careful is that mirror, as it starts to slide out, it can move up and down, and that sharp plastic can scratch your paint. So you have to really hold the mirror completely straight, or you're going to scratch the hell out of your paint. So just be careful with that. What we ended up doing was, I was hitting on these studs from the inside and nothing was happening. What I ended up doing very carefully was taking the end of my pry bar, putting it right in between these 2 connectors, and I just pushed it pretty hard, gave it one good jolt, and it came out. I didn't break anything, but I don't know why. Like, it was like really hard to come out. But now we got them out. It's a really, really heavy mirror. You don't realize like how big these things are until they're off the truck. But I'm gonna start talking about now my plans on how we're gonna paint match these mirrors. Alright, so now that we got the mirror out of the truck, like I just talked about, I want to go over my plans now on who and what I'm going to do with the paint match for the truck. Now, I contacted some people about getting the mirrors done. If you want 2020 mirrors done, paint matched, everything like that with switchbacks, the quotes I was getting around like $850. Now, I don't mind paying that because I know the people that do this stuff are really good at what they do, and they've done it a million times and it's come out great. But one thing I want to do, try to change it up a little bit and see how it goes, is I want to attempt to try to paint match these myself. Now, I see a lot of other people on YouTube, like Ryan Mayer. He did all his paint work himself on his truck, and it looked absolutely phenomenal when I saw it at Daytona. One thing I want to throw in there about doing it yourself is everyone that's ever done something in life, they attempted it the first time themselves. That's how you get good at it. If you ever want to do anything, you got to do it your first time. I know it's not going to be pristine the first time. It'll probably be close to perfect, but you got to start somewhere, and if you want to learn how to do something, you got to do it yourself. I was thinking about doing the headlights on my truck, but I ended up shipping them off to get done professionally. I probably should have done them myself, the amount of time they took, but it is what it is. On my LBZ, I was actually thinking about trying those because they're a little bit older headlights and I'm not tearing into $2,000 headlights. But like I said, if you want to attempt something yourself, you got to start somewhere, and that's why I think this truck would be a perfect opportunity to try to do some paint matching. Obviously, we need like a paint gun, compressor, and stuff like that. Everything that we have here, so it's really nothing I don't have. It's just getting the paint, getting it on there, and just putting the time in. That's like anything in life, so let me know what you guys think. Everything that comes down to this is the prep work. Now, as you can see, this is like textured plastic. Where all the work comes in is getting all the stuff sanded down till it's perfectly smooth before you paint it, because painting goes very quickly, like painting a car. It doesn't take long to do the paint. It's all the prep work leading up to it. So let me know down below if you guys want to see me take the whole mirror apart, break it down into as many pieces as it can, and sand it down and paint them myself. I don't think it'll come out that bad. And the best part is really with this, if you don't like the way it comes out, you can just sand it back down and you're back to square one, and you just send it off and have somebody do it. But I don't think it's gonna come out terrible. I know it's really not gonna be probably the best. I'm looking to get it close to perfect, but like I said, it's gonna be my first time around. One thing I was thinking was maybe taking the bed step off, practicing on that, getting that 100% before I start diving into the mirrors, but we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I wanna try it and attempt it myself. I don't think it's gonna be too bad, but you never know. Like I said, where they charge you a lot is the prep work, like taking the mirror apart. Like this thing comes out in like, I think 6 different pieces or something. But the one thing that's nice about these 2020 mirrors are they're not like the Cummins, like if you fold them in, the paint will rub off. These things, you can literally take the whole thing down, paint match everything, and you won't have to worry about an issue. Like we're not gonna put it on like really thick, but we'll give it a go and see how it goes. So if you guys are new here, be sure to subscribe. Let me know down below what you guys think of doing the mirrors myself. Be sure to leave this video a big thumbs up, but until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.
I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation.